part of where the craft was fictionalized to a very high degree, it was very horrific for me. And it took, all these years for me to gradually, have it dawn on me that it probably wasn't the way I originally interpreted it. I accepted the term abduction, but now I'm looking at it more as an ambulance call. That by getting so close that I accidentally got myself hurt through no intention of theirs. When I wrote my first book, I thought that perhaps they had fired some kind of weapon, at least in mistake, that it was like defensive. But our famous UFO skeptic there wrote a paper back when he was of the theory that all UFOs were plasma, some kind of a strange electrical atmospheric effect. He was talking about, as evidence for this, that when an airplane flies at very high speed through the atmosphere, that huge charges can build up, static charges build up in the surface of the airplane, where they have to attach a ground wire to the plane before they can begin refueling, because the danger that a spark will ignite the fuel. And so Phil Glass was saying that some of the charges in these airplanes can be up to $500,000 volts. Trying to build the case that UFOs that are seen in connection with aircraft are really some kind of a strange electrical effect. He eventually abandoned that idea, but the point is that if a UFO is flying at very high speed through the atmosphere, that even larger charges might conceivably develop in the surface just from having traveled through the air so rapidly. One other theory I had about this energy that hit me was that perhaps it was a side effect of the propulsion. That as I got too close, they were doing their best to actually put a little distance between me and them in order to, prevent me from hurting myself. One of the crew recently suggested the sound that we heard coming from it, was, part of it was actually some sort of a warning signal, not to get any closer. But, I'm emphasizing that now because it was a kind of a mistaken notion that I had that, because of how, traumatic it was and how much fear it generated in me, that, they didn't take me aboard with the idea of tormenting me or doing experiments on me, that they were actually trying to save my life, to revive me after, accidentally getting myself hurt. So, it's an incident that has marked my life. It basically swept away everything that I lived before that point, and nothing would ever be the same again. It was very difficult to cope with, and even to this day, it's the major point of struggle in my life. But that morning, I didn't have a clue what was coming. And 7 of us went to work. In the movie, there's 6 crewmen. There was actually 7. I think they kind of reduced the number of crewmen just to make it easier to cast. And, there's a lot of people to keep track of. They also combined several of the investigators into one fictional character who was played by James Garner. I had 2 brothers, Don and Dwayne, that were combined into one named Dan. And all of those are, acceptable kind of abbreviations. You're trying to tell a story that spanned years and many minutes. So some of that stuff I can understand, but some of it, there's just no basis for it. And so I've been providing people with my email address, and also I have a website, traviswalton.com, and I try to get people to email me expressing their interest in seeing a movie that sticks more closely to what really happened, because I'm going to bind all these together and take them into the studio and demonstrate to them that there is a great interest in people to see what really happened depicted